Hi, and welcome to the Home Assistant running in Synology in Docker. Today we're going to reinstall or install from the beginning MQTT. We'll start in a couple of seconds. A lot of devices, a lot of applications use MQTT to work. Unfortunately, my previous video for the Mosquitto had also a lot of people having issue with it. And those issues that people previously reported were ranging from the inability to run it because the configuration file was missing, or problems with the permissions. Most of the people couldn't access the log files. There were also issues on how to create a user so they can protect the MQTT instance with the username and the password. So I was thinking on how I can help and at least enable people to install MQTT on Synology much easier. And I remembered that on my home setup where MQTT is working, Eclipse Mosquitto, the same one that we are using here, is working without a glitch for a long time. I remembered that there is also a community version. What does that mean? It means that you don't have to use Docker on Synology to run MQTT. You can use your package center to install it. But before we go there, let's check the MQTT here. If we look at the version number, the current version number we are running here is version 1.6.8. This is the most important difference between the community version and current version we are pulling from the Docker Hub. So let's start installing this on Synology. First thing that we have to do is we have to disable MQTT. You will not be able to run two instances of MQTT as is. It is possible to run them, but you would have to change ports of the Docker version, and the standard package version would need to use standard ports. Next thing that we have to do is we have to go to Package Center. And as I said previously, if you want to search here, you will not receive anything when typing Mosquitto, because Synology doesn't provide Mosquitto package, nor does it support. So what we have to do, if you haven't done it already, and I really recommend that you do it, go to Settings and Package Sources. Here you can enter additional package sources that are not the ones that Synology is providing. So we will add here new. It will be Syno Community. And location for it, I will paste it here, is packages.synocommunity.com. Let's press OK. You will receive now a warning. Adding the package source will also trust the publisher certificate on this server. Every message you receive, and especially if you plan one day to release it to the public or open up some ports and make it available on the internet, you definitely should read all the warnings, especially the ones that are related to the certificates. Okay. This warning really doesn't mean anything. It just means that all the packages from this source and the certificate they were signed with will be trusted in the future. If we check the certificate, we can see that now we have Syno Community and we have original Synology certificate. Next thing that I recommend to do, if you still haven't done it before, is to tick the box next to yes, I want to see beta versions. Let's quickly jump to the Synology community website. Synology community website is something similar to Home Assistant community. This is a community of people that invested their time, money and effort into creating packages that are originally not available for the Synology. One of those packages is, of course, Mosquitto. If we look here, the only difference between the Mosquitto Eclipse version we were using inside the Docker and this version is a version number. We were using previously 1.6.8, and the latest version we can download here or install from this repository is version 1.4.14. I've been playing with it for last 7-10 days, maybe 2 weeks. I didn't encounter any problem because I was using a version, much older than the current version for the Home Assistant use, but your experience may be different. So this is the warning I have to give to you. Also, as you can see, there are various other Synology packages that are maintained by the community. I think one of them is Sonar. Yes, we also have Radar and various other packages that you can install if you wish. Okay, let's go back to Synology and finish the installation. Now that we have added Community, we'll click on Community. Here we can now even type Mosquitto. And we now have a package. Let's press Install. And this is it. The package has now been installed. We can press Run. And the package will be running every time we reboot our server. So let's check what's going on with our Zigbee to MQTT and also with the Home Assistant. For that we will go to Portainer. In Portainer, let's click Local, let's click Container, and let's click Zigbee to MQTT. If you can see here, let me disable auto refresh. At the moment that I started to install, or when I disabled the MQTT server, we lost the connection. But the minute we restarted the new one installed from the package, it connected and it published its first topic there. So this is really drop-in replacement. Let's go to Home Assistant container and see if there are any additional errors there. We should probably see there also error with the timeout for the MQTT. Yes. This is the period when we lost MQTT connection. And this should also be the last time we see this error, because from now on Home Assistant will be connected directly to the new version of the Mosquitto we just installed. For whom is this installation? First of all, you definitely need Synology, because you will not be able to install it on any other device or operating system other than Synology/Xpenology. But also, if you already have Mosquitto that is working great, that you can use in your home setup, I would still recommend that you keep on using it. All the others who had problem installing it, all the others who had issues with the permissions, should definitely look at this package and install it as a replacement for the Docker version of the Mosquitto. If you are wondering where you can access those files, for that we will be using terminal once again. So let's log into our server. Previously, all the files that we were keeping for the Docker were located inside CD volume 1 Docker MQTT. And here we created 3 folders for the configuration data and log files. And of course, also we had to play with the permissions, the owners of the folders, and blah 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 blah. Now we can change to var packages. Let's clear this, and here you will be able to see new folder created today, well, today for me, called Mosquitto, with all the subfolders and related files to the Mosquitto. I still didn't edit configuration file here. As I said, I use it as a drop-in replacement for my original Mosquitto configuration. But of course, you could change to configuration folder. Let me try and see Mosquitto. See. Okay, this is very short configuration file. We have also privilege here that can be used to control the access to the folders. Here you will be able to run the Mosquitto password command to create password, etc. As I said, I didn't play with this version in terms of adding users, because I have working setup where I use users for the Docker version, but all the functionality should still be available here. Of course, you can check the Mosquitto webpage for more information on the commands that are available to you, recommended configurations, etc. But this is it for today's Home Assistant running on Synology in Docker. This time we didn't use Docker to install anything, but we used a workaround. While you are here, you can also check the other various community packages. One of them is Has.io and the other one is Home Assistant. I wouldn't recommend definitely to install this Home Assistant, although it is available as a package, because it's using a very old version, 0.82, and we are currently, at the time of the recording, at version 0.105 or 106, 105 I think. But there is also Has.io, previously, the application previously known as Has.io, that you can use to install what was previously known as Has.io as a package, and it will allow you to then use add-ons as normal add-ons in Has.io. There are some quirks with it, but it should be pretty easy. I will probably do a video on installing this next week. This is it for today's Home Assistant running on Docker and Synology. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any kind of a comment, question or idea, you can leave it down in the comments section, or you can join my Discord server to talk to the other members of the community. Thank you for watching. If you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell button, and I will be seeing you next time. Until then, bye bye and have fun.